社会里面，建立那个教会，然后慢慢改变整个佛教国家。OK， 好来，谢谢。
没问题啊。Yeah, actually, I am not a preacher or even a broadcaster or anybody like that, but I am a writer, also a teacher, like Arabic teacher as well. But I met my friend Mr. Robert Lee, and just we discussed, by chance, one of my articles, and he said, no, you have to come and make it in front of this congregation, especially you want to translate, sir?
Yes. 他是那个李习舟长老的朋友，那他是一个作家。
Yeah, and the article was about this thing, like it is a bolt and nut. This kind bolt and nut. Even we don't know exactly what it is made of or anything, but the carpenters or the goldsmith or this blacksmith, they understand what is the bolt and nut.
我们不知道，就像这个螺丝跟这个螺丝的整个东西
螺帽。
帽子是上面哈，这个螺丝的杆子哈，那么他不知道是什么做，但是如果是有内行的人，他就知道这个是什么做的，也是像那个木匠一样，我们不知道这个木匠的当中，那个木头当中他是怎么样子做的，但是内行的人他就知道。
Yes, and when on my writings I try always to meditate things in order to let the people understand what I mean for that.
当我在写作的时候，我就是要让我的读者知道我的意思在哪个地方。
And even these bolts are not always made of different material, but it should match each other. The thread of this bolt, if this nut cannot match the same thread of this bolt, it will not be useless. It will not be screwed or cannot get the right procedure for the usage of this one.
就像螺丝钉跟螺丝里面的这个螺帽那么他们虽然不同的做的方法不同，它的质料不同，但是呢，他们却是用这个纹路把它联合在一起。这个螺丝的钉跟它的帽里面呢，都要用同样的纹路，才能够使这两个东西连在一起。我的写作也是像这样子。
And we are in this life. If we are not bolts and nuts, we are not living a right way even towards God. If I am a husband, and if my wife, this nut, cannot match me, our life will be useless.
在我们现在的这个生命的当中如果两个生命就像一个螺丝钉跟螺丝帽的比喻，就像螺丝钉跟螺丝帽，如果这两个地方两个东西不能够密合在一起的时候，那么这个是没有用的。就像我的太太跟我们两个必须我们两个生命要密合紧密的联合在一起，这样子才能有作用。
If I am in a company, we are partners, like partnership. If we are all of us same like bolts and nuts, like we integrate each other, and if everybody cannot screw in the right way, still the company will be useless.
就像这个合伙的公司一样，如果这个合伙人不能够像螺丝钉跟螺丝帽这样子紧密的联合在一起的时候，那么这一个公司或者是一个事业 它也是没有用的。
Because it might be like somebody cheating on other or not working in the same way of the rules of the company and so on. And this also will affect the business in the future.
这个在合伙的人呢，他们每一个人做的，如果是甲方来欺骗乙方，或者是互相当中的这个工作态度不一样，工作的方法也有很大的不同的时候，这样子这个公司呢也是不会存在太久。
Also in the church, if the pastor and the congregation, if he is not like directly with God, and let his congregation love each other, or he loves like to be as a worker in the church or a servant, still we cannot match each other in the same direction of God.
在教会的当中也是一样，如果牧师跟我们的会友的当中呢，不能够一起来服侍神，也不能够一起让我们的带领我们的会众，牧师带领的会众一起来服侍神。在用爱的当中，我们彼此来服侍的时候，这个整个教会也是不会有作用的。
And sometimes the environment of this Bolton nut, suppose this Bolton nuts is fixed outside in the wilderness, say it is in the like rain and dust and all this environment like contamination, like it is contaminated. There should be a big problem because this nut cannot even be fixed to this bolt again because the environment is not right for the same material for this bolt and nut.
如果是就像这个螺丝钉跟螺丝帽一样，在外面的空气环境的当中呢，太久了，它不能够适合在那个环境里面。那这个螺丝钉跟螺丝帽的当中呢，也不能够紧密的联合在一起。
And this is why, like the rust, it will be rusted, it will be decayed, it will be like useless unless we find another material in order to loosen it, in order to readjust. For example, like from that bad contamination, bad weather outside, say the church. So we need a special oil in order to let it work in a good way. And this oil may be like here, if the carpenters of this, they can put what we call a
D40.
WD-40. And this WD-40 in our church, it is the oil, the anointment, because this holy oil which we lubricate, we do ourselves with it in order to be holy, and then this we can do very good job in the church.
就像螺丝钉跟螺丝帽一样，在外面，那么风吹雨打，它们会慢慢的会生锈，那么生锈以后就毁坏，然后就不会这个紧密的联合在一起。那么这个时候我们需要用油，或者是再换一个新的螺丝钉跟螺丝帽在外面。那么很多的时候在木匠他用的时候，这个如果是螺丝钉跟螺丝帽是已经锈住的时候，就用 WD-40 给它喷一喷，让它再继续能够用。那一样在教会里面，我们螺丝钉跟螺丝帽是我们每一个人也要有油在我们当中，那让我们能够紧密的联合在一起。
And this is why we are here now in the church.
这个就是我们现在为什么会在教会。
And we love each other.
我们用爱彼此来对待。
We help each other.
我们彼此来款待，彼此来帮助。
And we make like integration because especially if you got this experience of sometime when you had money and suddenly you are broke, and you find somebody helps you indirectly and finds like a job for you or helps you in any way, then this is the way of God told us in order how to help each other and love each other, and this will be very strong, same like this bolt and nut together for the future of our Christianity.
在教会的当中，我们信徒，我们彼此相对待，用爱彼此来款待。那么就像有人，譬如说有人在教会的当中，那么教会的人他失去了工作，那其他的人要为他找了另外的工作，那么这样子彼此的帮助，就像螺丝钉跟螺丝帽一样，两个就联合在一起，那让整个教会或者是我们彼此当中的关系就能够紧密。
And why I'm saying this, because before I was away from God, away from the church, and I remember even our grandfathers, they were from Egypt, but I was born in Sudan, in the south of Egypt. And of course, after I got my degree in Bachelor of Commerce, then I started, he helped me to get through the business for import and export business. And this was in 1976.
在1976年的时候，那我原来是生在这个苏丹，就是埃及南部的苏丹，后来就得到这个商业学士的学位，那也在这个也在埃及的地方做进出口贸易。对不起，太长了，我都忘记他前面讲什么。
对。And then, of course, I started to travel to Taiwan. I think the first trip I made it in what do you call it? Chijiao, 1979. The first trip I went to Taiwan.
1979年第一次到台湾去旅行去。
And this was a trip, to like a kind of finding the best place to make business, because I went to Japan, to Korea, to Singapore, Philippines. I spent almost nearly 4 months traveling through the Asian countries.
在这4个月当中呢，我去了日本，去了韩国在东南亚这几个地方走的时候，那么在这4个月当中，我走遍了，然后我发现到那个台湾是最好做生意的地方。
And of course, I found the best place to make business at that time in Taiwan. And unfortunately, I was like a playboy, and then I started, my trips every year, maybe 2 times, and I spent every trip like 2 months there, because I was making this this machineries, for different projects.
我在当时的时候呢，我发现台湾是一个很好做生意，同时也是一个很好玩的地方。所以我每到那个地方1年去了2次的时候，在那边好像过了花花公子的生活。那么在那个地方虽然做生意也非常的做了很多玩乐的事情。
And then, of course, this first trip when I went and then came back after like almost 4 months, and of course my wife just hugged me and she wants we miss you. I said, hey, before do anything, I'm sorry to tell you that I have betrayed you.
我回到家里的时候，太太跟我说，我很久没有看到你，我很想念你。这是我跟我太太说，我们进一步要讲的时候，我要告诉你说，我已经对你是这个不忠贞的背叛你。
And then she started to cry, almost for 3 weeks, always crying, and of course even I could not go to bed, only late. I go to the movies and then come after midnight in order to let her sleep, and then I go to work next day.
那么在那个3个礼拜当中，她一直哭那么我呢也没有去跟她一起睡觉，我就她在睡觉的时候，我再去看那个很晚的电影，然后第2天再回去再工作。
And then one day I told her, hey, I told you the truth and you are upset, if I did not tell you that, you cannot understand, you cannot know what even I have done there, okay? Why you are angry?
最后呢，我就跟他说呢，你为什么要这么生气？如果我不告诉你的时候，你会知道吗？那么你不知道的话，你就不会生气。我诚实的告诉你，你为什么要这么生气？
氣勢嘅冇傷啊！
氣勢嘅冇傷，要給他翻譯一下 and cause of the day. If you are angry today.
Yeah. And then, anyway, of course, we started, to really. She told me because at that time I had 2 boys. She told me if we had known these 2 boys, we could leave each other. Everybody just be separated.
当时我们已经有2个男孩子，那么我就跟他说，如果不是因为这2个男孩子，我们就可以分开了。那么你过你的生活，我过我的生活。
And of course, I understood that, and I respected her very, very much. And from this spot, really, I want to tell everybody here, we are as men, especially men, we do many mistakes, especially in this kind of way. But the good wife, or I can say, the wise wife, she can forgive her husband and give him another chance, because by giving me this chance, even not like very fast, I took like several years in order to come back, but I want you to say that.
好我要在这个地方说的是，如果我们的太太是很聪明的我们的姐妹很聪明太太的时候，那么应该就要原谅她丈夫。虽然我的经验是要过了很久的时候呢才能够回到我目前的情况，但是呢，因为我的太太给我有第2次的机会，让我能够再回来。
Because I remember when I started to travel again, and she used to say to me, do you promise me you are not going to do this bad stuff you are doing? I say I cannot promise, okay, but just pray for me.
当我要再去旅行的时候我太太对我说，你会不会再去做那些事情？那我就跟她说，请你就是为我祷告就好了。
Really, I was very arrogant, and it is true. I remember even like say the aeroplane say from Khartoum, which is Sudan, to Dubai to Bangkok. Bangkok, we stayed there, like because I had business in Bangkok for rice business and so on. I stayed for like 1 week. I had like a girlfriend waiting for me in the airport. In Philippines, the same thing. Like somebody really by like how to say, even he does not want even to think about the family or to think about God at all. Just like this devil went through me. Oh, you are young, you can do everything you can do it now and so on and so on. But this is the bad thing, of course.
那么我是那个时候在做生意的时候，是从苏丹飞到杜拜到曼谷到菲律宾。那么这些过程的当中，我都有人在那个地方呢跟着我。然后我一到飞机场的时候，他们就迎接我，那么就带我做那些事情，很不好的事情。
And the very strange thing, even I have for each trip the Bible with me. And then when I open the Bible, there is a verse saying, when you hear his voice, do not harden your heart. And immediately when I find this, I close the Bible again, because this one, how come it? And then each time I open it, I found the same thing. And then I started really to be very frightened.
然后我在做那些事旅行的时候呢，我都有带有圣经在我的口袋里面。每次我打开的时候，就说你们如果是聪明的时候呢，就不可坚硬你们的心。啊，那么我每次看到这个圣经这个经节的时候，我就赶快把它合起来。为什么每次都是这个经节出现
？And of course, like one after a few years, I went back to her. I said, "Oh, I have very good news. What is this good news? Yeah, I will never go to any girl. Only one, please accept this one. She is in Taiwan, and the others I forgot them. Okay, now only one. Okay, don't be upset. Okay."
啊，那么我再有一次回到家里的时候呢，我就跟我的太太说。我有很好的消息告诉你，the good news to your wife.
Huh?
You say good news to your wife.
I thought, yeah, I have good news because before I had many. So now one I have one.
以前有很多个，现在我只有一个。
Yeah, and then that means you love her. Okay, that means you love her.
他就说你大概是很爱那个人。
And then I brought my wife and my kids one time to Taiwan.
我就带我太太还有孩子来到台湾。
And I brought like my girlfriend to see my wife.
我就把我的太太带来，我把我的女朋友带去看我的太太。
You're still alive?
Really, because. I don't know, really. I tell you the truth. When we're like sometimes you feel you are a man, you are powerful, okay, you have money. Because at that time, even my wife, no need for her to work or anything. And I bring a lot of money, and this one, like I am a king, okay. Even when in Taiwan, I remember, I closed one restaurant, complete restaurant for my party only from Kaohsiung up to Keelung, or Keelung to Kaohsiung, all the businessmen, this one under, like I invite them for the business. And this like a rich man, okay.
当时我在做生意的时候呢，好像是非常有地位、有能力的人，那么大家都要听我的，所以呢，我从在台湾从基隆到高雄，高雄到基隆呢，可以把整个餐馆包下来，请所有的跟我做生意的人。
And then even when we wanted to go back to home, and then this girlfriend, she came to the airport to say to us goodbye. And then my wife, she said to her, "Why did you come here? Okay, why did you come?" Said, "Only I want to say goodbye to you, you see that." And then of course she was very, very upset, and still, I am still in my way, Yeah.
当我从台湾要回去的时候呢，那个女朋友也到台湾来送我，要上飞机，所以我的太太很生气，对她说：“你为什么出现？”那个女的说：“我要来送她要走了，所以我来到这个机场要送她。”
Anyway, and of course the year passed, and then one day I told this girlfriend no more, and I gave her clothes, and this one go away. And then after she left me, it was because at that time I want to go back to my wife or to go back to my God, at least to be clean, and this one. After she left, I was very sad. And then I immediately, after midnight, I went to her, "Sir, please come back to the hotel, and no problem at all," and so on and so on. And of course she came back, and it's still the same thing. In order to make it short, after I came to even America here, still we had the contacts, but still the relationship was there. And one time I went to Mexico because we had exhibition business in Mexico, the country. And I don't know. The devil says to me, "Oh, you are alone. Very good chance to find another girl." You know. I dressed up and went down to the lobby, and then I found something like not usual in my stomach. So I went up to the hotel in my room, and I went to the restroom. Then when I sat, like blood, you know, everywhere, the blood made this one like a faucet, you know, open a faucet and close it. I said, God, now, like a voice, hey, you are going to die here. Okay, so it's better you take care. And of course, since then, I did not think about that, and thanks God I came back to God again and no more bad stuff.
几年以后我就跟这个女的就分开了，但是呢就给她很多东西，或者是送她很多东西以后，那么就没有来往。但是后来我又回到台湾的时候，我又觉得很孤单，然后又跟她联络，然后又联络上了，甚至到了美国的时候呢，也跟她有联络。但是有一天在
Yes, when I came to America, but it was in Mexico.
在这个墨西哥这个城市的时候呢，在那边开展览会。那有一天，我觉得我的肚子非常的难过，然后我就到楼上的那个住的地方，结果一坐下马桶的时候，整个通通好像是开水龙头一样，全部都是血。那在那里。就好像我快要死掉了，我就没有办法继续活下去。
死掉了，对。Because like this, I started to like open my eyes, and since then, thanks God, I started to devote myself, even my writings, like things like that, in order to be with the Lord. Because sometimes we make mistakes, but the most important thing, we have not to waste the time. And I remember Pastor Andrew, last time when I came, he said the unfinished matters, because the life is too short. You don't know if you are going to depart from this world, you know, and with unfinished task. This one you have to be ready every time for the future, which is like to be with the Lord. And this is why I hope everybody, I'm sorry I made a long time.
Okay. 好那我在墨西哥那一个经验的时候，回到神的旁边，然后我就跟神说，我要把我的生命给你，所以我以后我写作了，不管写作或者是做什么事情的时候，我就是把神带到那个里面来。那上次我跟这个Pastor Andrew 呢，这个Andrew牧师讲话的时候，跟他说的时候呢，他说我们的生命实在太短了，我们要准备随时来见主。要带什么东西，随时来见主。
And only, you know, this story, I wrote it in details in the newspaper and magazines. And I remember, because this magazine very popular in the Coptic Orthodox churches here. And one lady, when she read this, she called me. Are you sure this one you did that? I say yes, I did that. So this why when after you neglect the sin, you will be very brave in order to say it, in order to be as an example for everybody, in order not to be in the same hole like me.
我回去的时候，我就写了，像跟这个报纸或者杂志写了很多的文章，在文章里面呢，我就提到我自己以前所犯的罪，那么那些事情我就很详细的把它写出来。但在那个教会的当中，有人问我说：“这个是不是你真实的经历？”那他说是，就是我真实的经历。那他对我说，要写这样的经历出来是非常的要有勇气，因为你从那个罪恶里面出来的时候，你能够把这个罪恶里面你所犯的罪把它说出来，那个需要很大的勇气。
Yes. And at last, you know, even when I was in Taiwan, you know, I used to go to this karaoke, you know, to sing songs on this one. I don't know, Mr. Lee, can you come with me? Because like I used to read this. We want to.
那最后他要唱一首，他唱很多台湾歌 ，He can sing many Taiwanese songs. But one of them is 心事谁人知哈。好，那我们就开始来。
I try because I forgot almost now. Like 22 years, I have not been in Taiwan.
Yeah, but I forgot to tell you, he just tell many bad things he did before, but actually he did very great things now because he write and then they preach in many churches. Especially he has a vision to preach to the Muslim. I think last month there is a Korean sister. Here, yeah. They also have a vision to do the preach in the Muslim country, and I think God will use Ernest. Okay. 好 ，OK， 我们刚才他讲了很多他过去坏的事情，其实他现在已经悔改，而且很好，就是说他对那个回教徒他们很有负担哦，所以他上一次他来的时候也。有一位那个韩国的这个姐妹跟他一起来，那个韩国姐妹他们都是在做这个回教徒的这个福音工作，那他就是一个也是在做这个工作的人啊，所以说他今天来这边跟我们做见证，就是说他肯把过去他的坏的，就是罪恶的事情他讲出来，而且在报纸上登出来，然后自己现在呢，他就像沙该一样的，他就很高兴，他说他现在不像以前这样很有钱，但是他现在很喜乐，每天晚上都睡得很快乐。家也住在我们修哥那里，他跟他太太住在一起。好，那我们就来唱一首《心事谁人知》。
心事谁人知？
会唱的可以唱。
心事若无讲出来，有啥人会知？有时阵想要做事，满怀的悲哀，踏进一头开，心门应该，思念想挽回，啥人见拉开？心爱你那有了解，心灵来，担心是无目屎，只心甲流出来。
谢谢。